This is the hardest video I've ever had to make on YouTube. I'm not being overly exaggerative or dramatic. Number 6 to number 1 are so close. Just wait and see which hotel I have at number 6, and you'll see how competitive this field is. As always, I'm just going to dive right into it. Number 10 is Mandalay Bay. Now, Mandalay Bay is often regarded for its pool scene and its activities, but it is very overlooked and underrated in terms of its dining. My favorite place to eat at is Kumi, which is the Asian restaurant there. I had one of my greatest Las Vegas dinners of all time at that place. That $150 sushi roll delivered by the head chef was an insane moment that I'll never forget. It has 2 steakhouses and strip steak and Fleur. It also has places like Lupo and Oriole. It has some casual dining like Libertine. And even the lounges, Skyfall, Foundation Room, and S-Bar have pretty good food. If you are a foodie, you will definitely be fulfilled at Mandalay Bay. It comes in at number 10. Number 9 is the Cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan has like a B-list restaurant lineup. Definitely upscale, definitely fun. If you're a foodie, you're definitely going to get into trouble in the best way possible. I think the best restaurant there by far is Beauty in Essex, that is owned and operated by Tao Group. Everything they touch usually turns to gold. It is really chic, really cool, and really unique. Zuma is another one of my favorite places to eat at Cosmopolitan. That Miami location is legendary. It feels very much at home at the Cosmo. There are other great names as well, such as STK, Scarpetta. Haleo is probably the biggest sleeper in the entire Cosmopolitan dining lineup. Jose Andres is one of the best chefs in the world. He's probably my favorite at this moment. And the really cool thing about Cosmo is that they are continually adding to their restaurant lineup. They just have 2 new really fun places such as Super Frico and Red Plate. Dining at the Cosmo is unlike anything else in Las Vegas. The hotel definitely takes a lot of chances, which I love. It comes in at number 9. Number 8 is Paris. And really, restaurants are the star of the show at that property. Yeah, it has a casino, but it's small. I don't think anyone goes to Paris specifically for the gambling. The bars and lounges are pretty much non-existent. There's just like a lobby bar and a casino bar. And the shopping there is really limited as well. It's really all about the dining, and that is where Paris excels. Mon Ami Gabi is absolutely the number 1 place to dine at Paris. If you don't eat there, then you really haven't had the true Paris experience. Bedford by Martha Stewart is amazing. I expected to walk in there and not like it at all. I walked out absolutely loving it. And of course, Vanderpump Paris is one of the coolest places to get a drink and a bite in all of Las Vegas. Vanderpump Paris is pretty much Disneyland for food. The menu is really creative, the food is delectable, and the presentation is mind-blowing. Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse, which is a top steakhouse in Las Vegas, is also located on property. And also, don't forget, you have the Eiffel Tower restaurant. It is all about dining at Paris, Las Vegas. If you're a foodie, you're going to have so much fun there. It comes in at number 8. Number 7 is MGM Grand. Now, MGM Grand is a little top-heavy when it comes to dining, but it still cements itself at number 7. My 2 favorite restaurants there by far, number 1 is Joel Robuchon. You can go super formal at the Michelin caliber traditional restaurant, or if you want something a bit more sensational, a bit more spectacular, and a bit more casual, you can go to Atelier. Hakkasan is my other favorite place to dine at MGM Grand. It is one of the few restaurants that's able to combine classy and cool into one experience. If you're a fan of Tao, but you're looking to take things to the next level in terms of class and cuisine and menu and service and experience, it is all about Hakkasan. Even if we excluded those 2 heavy hitter restaurants, MGM would have a great dining lineup. You have Morimoto, which is a top sushi place in all of Las Vegas. You have Craft Steak, and you have an Emerald Lagasse restaurant there as well. The list goes on at MGM Grand. They even have great mid-tier dining as well, such as Wolfgang Puck and Crush. I could talk about MGM Grand's dining for days. They have so many options. It is definitely a top foodie hotel in Las Vegas. It comes in at number 7. Number 6 is Venetian and Palazzo. I actually just had this hotel at number 5, and right before I turned on the camera, I downgraded it to number 6. They have 3 top-tier steakhouses. Not 1, but 2, but 3. They have Cut by Wolfgang Puck, which is absolutely my favorite. They also have Delmonico by Emerald Lagasse, and there is a McCormick and Schmick's as well. The restaurant collection is so large, I really don't even know where to start. My favorite restaurant there is Expat. Forever, it was my absolute number 1 restaurant in all of Las Vegas, and when I think about it, it still probably pretty much is. There's Mott 32, Sushi Samba, and Lavo. The list goes on and on and on, and this is only high-end dining. Don't even get me started on the mid-tier stuff. You could stay at Venetian and Palazzo for a month and not get to every single restaurant. It comes in at number 6. Number 5 is Caesar's Palace. I just had Caesar's Palace at number 6. I flipped it with the Venetian and Palazzo. It's coming in at number 5. You know, for me, I think Caesar's dining is really overlooked and underrated. When I think of Caesar's, I think of everything else except dining, which is wrong. But I think of the pools. I think of the shopping at the Forum shops. I think of its iconic status. I think of its perfect location. But when you think about it, its restaurant lineup is highly impressive. You have some staples like Nobu, Old Homestead, Mr. Chow, of course Guy Savoy, which I still need to put on the channel. But remember, you also have to include the restaurants over at the Caesars Forum shops. And when you account for Sushi Roku, Joe's Stone Crab, which is the #1 restaurant in Miami, it's a staple here in Las Vegas as well. RPM Italian, it has one of the best dining lineups in all of Las Vegas. Plus, Caesars is going to get Peter Luger next year. Peter Luger Steakhouse, I believe it to be the best steakhouse in New York, is coming to Caesars next year. That might even elevate it higher in this ranking. Number 4 is the Bellagio, and the Bellagio is the epitome of top heavy. In fact, it is ultra heavy at the top. It has 2 of the very best elite restaurants in all of Las Vegas, 2 Michelin-star caliber places with Picasso and Le Cirque. I had one of the greatest dinners of all time, just not in Vegas, but of all time at Le Cirque. It was an epic $700 dinner. If you're interested in that, check the link in the description below. Not only does it have ultra elite dining, but for me it has the 3rd best steakhouse in all of Las Vegas, Prime by John George's. I've eaten at over 40 Las Vegas steakhouses. I currently have Prime at number 3. Bellagio has other tremendous and well-respected fine dining options as well, such as Mayfair Supper Club, Spago Lago, and Michael Mina. For the longest time, Bellagio was the king of fine dining in Las Vegas, and when it comes to elite dining, it still very well could be. Resorts World is coming in at number 3, and before you start cursing me out in the comments and declare me clinically insane, just hear me out. So Resorts World has 10. That's right, 10 high-end fine dining restaurants. So it has more high-end fine dining options than Aria. Plus those options are much more approachable, fun, cool, chic, and modern than what you're gonna find over at Wynn. My favorite restaurant at Resorts World is Wally's by far. It is one of the most incredible experiences you're ever going to have in Las Vegas in terms of dining. It also has 2 high-end Asian fusion concepts with Kusanori and Fuhu. Resorts World even has a luxury vegan restaurant. Not only is it the nicest vegan place I've ever seen in my life, it is the only 100% plant-based restaurant on the entire strip. And unlike Bellagio at number 4 and the next 2 hotels on this list, you can actually get some casual dining at Resorts World. It has the Famous Foods area, which is a consortium of 16 restaurants with casual, approachable foods from all over the world. In terms of the number of high-end restaurants and how cool and modern and chic those restaurants are, Resorts World could be considered number 1. Overall, I have it strongly at number 3. I went back and forth on number 2 and number 1 for about 12 hours. I finally decided to put Aria at number 2. Not only does Aria have a better restaurant lineup than most hotels in Las Vegas, it has a better restaurant lineup than most cities in the world. My favorite place to eat at Aria is John George's Steakhouse. It's currently my number 2 steakhouse in all of Las Vegas. The rib cap there is one of the top 5 steaks I've ever had in my entire life. To this day, I can still remember exactly how that steak tasted and looked. Carbone is a top 2 Italian place in the entire city. The off-menu meatballs are incredible, and the house-made mozzarella is so fresh, it squeaks. There are 2 California favorites there. Of course, you have Catch and Javier's. 2 awesome, unique, very Insta-worthy places to dine. And of course, you cannot forget about the dining over at Aria Crystals. You have the nationally famous Mastro's, as well as the new fan favorite, Toca Madera. Even though Aria has only been around for a little over a decade, its restaurant scene is legendary. It is already cemented as one of the greatest in Las Vegas history, and sometimes I do think it's number 1. For this list though, overall, I'm putting it at number 2. Wynn and Encore comes in at number 1. Everything about the property is prestigious, exclusive, luxurious, and sophisticated. The dining is no exception. I really don't even know where to begin. You have SW Steakhouse, Lakeside, Cipriani. There's also Wing Lee, which at one time did have a Michelin star. Additionally, there's Sinatra's, which many people consider to be the number 1 Italian restaurant in the entire city. And of course, how could I forget Mazumi, the king of kings when it comes to Asian dining in Las Vegas. When it comes down to prestige, luxury, experience, and quality, Wynn and Encore is the preeminent dining hotel in Las Vegas. It comes in at number 1.